Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rennie Alexis and this is a bookish content called the Random Bibliophile Talks. That's still on the works though. So for today's video, we are going to talk about my October reads. So in total, I have read 4 books for the month of October and here they are. Ta-da! So I've read 4 books last month. The first one I've read is King of Scars, and then The Hangman's Daughter, The Catastrophic History of You and Me, and The Infinite Moment of Us. So I'm going to talk about each book in this video. For the first one, I have read The King of Scars. It is by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book of the duology of Nikolai. So Nikolai is a supporting character in the Grishaverse trilogy, which was Shadow and Bone, Siege of Storms, and Ruin and Rights. I fell in love with Nikolai reading those 3 books. I think I read those books last year. When I finished the trilogy, I got so excited when I found out that there was going to be a book solely for Nikolai. So when I got a copy of this book, I did not read it on my Kindle because I wanted to savor the story in a physical copy. So when I read King of Scars, I was so happy. This book made me so happy. It is a solid 5 out of 5 stars for me because number 1, it's Nikolai. Number 2, Nina is here. Nina from Six of Crows duology. And also, we can read Zoya's perspective in here. Zoya is also one of the supporting characters in the Grishaverse trilogy. And while I did not like her there, I loved her in this book. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but what I want to say is this book is action-packed and you get to learn more about the characters in it. But yeah, I love this book. It's one of my best reads so far this year and it's already November, so yeah, that speaks a lot. I haven't read that many special books this year. But yeah, King of Scars, I highly recommend it. I also wrote a blog, a book review for it, not really an in-depth review, just I accumulated my scattered thoughts about it and somehow wrote it in one blog post. So you can check out my blog if you want to read my thoughts about this book. So the next book I read last month is this one, The Hangman's Daughter. So I've had this book for a couple of years already and I almost forgot that I had a copy of this until such time that I was arranging my bookshelves. Going through the book, the first 100 pages was easy, but when I reached like the middle, it kind of got a little bit boring. This I rated 3 stars, but it's not that bad. It's not the best book, but it's not the worst either. So The Hangman's Daughter is about the life of people in a small town in Bavaria in the 1600s. This book is about murder, mystery, and a little bit about witchcraft. Well, not really, because there aren't many witchcraft involved, just the rumors of witchcraft. So I find the situations in this book very old-fashioned as it is set in the 1600s. So it is a historical fiction novel and it opened my eyes to a lot of gender-biased thinking. And also, I really didn't like how the people here are very close-minded. Just because you had this kind of stuff on your house doesn't mean that you are already practicing witchcraft. When I was reading this book and I reached the climax, I didn't really feel that much excitement. When everything was revealed at the end of the book, it was kind of like meh. I expected to be mind blown because when I read through this book, I read a good review about it in Goodreads, and so my expectation kind of went up. And so when I got through the last few pages, I was thinking, that was it? That was the reason why the children were murdered? That was the reason why everything happened? What was the point of person A being tortured? So I didn't really love the book. It was okay. It was an okay. The third book I read last month is The Catastrophic History of You and Me. It is young adult fiction and I have been a lover of YA books for the longest time, starting when I read The Fault in Our Stars. So, having said that, this book did not meet my expectation. I didn't have expectation per se, but this book is... I don't want to say it's a waste of time because there are some things in the book that I liked, but it's not something I would recommend for anyone to read. This is my second attempt to finish this book, and I just remembered now why I left this one unfinished years before. It was because I got bored with the story, and I think that the story of this book is not believable. Yeah, that's it. I didn't buy the afterlife thing that was happening in this book, and when I got to the end of the book and I got to know the twist that happened in the book, I thought that was it. Like, it could have been made more dramatic. The author could have made the revelation more appealing, but this was a huge disappointment for me because just look at it. It has a pretty cover. It has a pretty title, a mouthful of title. But when I read it, I don't know. It lacks things. It's lacking in so many different areas. And my rating for this one is 2.5 stars. Hi guys. So for some reason, my video got cut. I don't know what happened, but my video stopped in the middle of me telling all my thoughts. Okay, as I was saying, this book, although I only said negative things about it earlier, it has a positive thing about it. So one good thing about this book is that the chapter titles are very memorable. They are lyrics from pop songs that were once a hit in the early 2000s to 2010s, I think. So sometimes I know the song, but sometimes I don't. I'd have to look it up on the internet. The last book that I read for the month of October is this one, The Infinite Moment of Us by Lauren Miracle. So this is the first book that I've encountered from this author. I don't know this author, but I've heard that she was one of the authors in the Let It Snow book, the one that has John Green and two other authors in it. So this is also a young adult fiction, but this is better than the previous book I read. This book is not the best YA. I only gave it a 3-star on my rating in Goodreads because there are not a lot of things to be glad about in this book. What I mean to say is that this book is shallow. In the shallow. So this book is kind of shallow for me. I mean, it tells a summer fling. It kind of reminds me of Grease because of the summer fling thing. But what I liked about this book is the main character, Ren Gray. She is an overachiever. She is a straight A student. She's very obedient with her parents, and all her life she did everything to please her parents, that when high school graduation came, she came upon a realization that the life she was living is hers. And so, from that time, upon her realization, she decided to take matters into her own hands by making decisions that she wanted to do. So, one thing that happened is that Ren's parents wanted her to go to a medical school when she graduated high school. And Ren, after a long time, realized that it wasn't what she wanted to do. So she withdrew her acceptance at this certain school, and she decided that she would like to go on a mission, like a volunteering mission to Guatemala. After high school graduation, she got together with Charlie. So Charlie here is her classmate. They were from the same school, and they also graduated together. They didn't have anything to do with each other before graduation, but after they met, they clicked and they fell in love, and they spent a lot of time during the summer before Ren had to leave for Guatemala. It's a light read, and I only read this for about a day. What I liked from this book is that I can relate a little bit with Ren, because growing up I tried my best to please my parents, to obey them and not to disappoint them. And what Ren did, like followed her heart in making her decision, is what I also did, because at some point in my life I also realized that I would be living with what I will do. Like for example, I decide to do this thing right now. I will be the one living through the consequences that happen after that decision. And so to not regret anything that I did or any decision that would be made in my life, I decided to make decisions for myself, if that makes sense. Because, you know, if I keep on accounting other people's thoughts, other people's suggestions, I don't know, and then they wouldn't be the one living through the consequences when that decision is made in my life. I would be. In this book, I called it shallow because there wasn't much that happened in it. I mean, it was summer. It was a time to relax, to do things that you like, to enjoy your life, because you know college will be coming up and it's the time to de-stress. So what happened is that when Ren and Charlie got together, it felt like they think that it was them against the world. It's kind of like childish, I don't want to say that, but reading through Ren and Charlie's interactions made me realize that not everything is as easy as that. So the story is kind of like too good to be true, but as it is fiction, of course, people would like stuff like this. At the end of the book, there was an issue that arose, and I felt that it was put off hastily because the author did not give it time for those things to really go to its peak, if I'm making any sense right now. So yeah, that was all the books I've read for the month of October. And my favorite one, of course, is The King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. It is one of the best books in the Grishaverse so far, and maybe this will be one of my best reads this year. So having said that, thank you so much for sticking with me through this entire video talking about the books that I have read. I don't know if you have read any of these, but if you do, tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. And if you have any recommendations of books that you think I would like to read, then please do so in the comments also. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This is still very new to me, and sometimes I get lost for words. I don't know what to say anymore. Maybe because I'm still getting the hang of things here. I am still getting used to talking to my camera. So please do forgive me if I stammer a little bit and stumble some of my words, because I am just really trying my best to get all of the thoughts out of my head through my words. So having said that, thank you so much for watching my video. See you on my next one. Bye.